Are you feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges? Do you find yourself struggling to stay afloat when the waters get rough? It's time to tap into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and learn how to build mental toughness in difficult times. In this video, we'll explore practical Stoic wisdom that can help you navigate through adversity with resilience and grace. Lesson 1. Focus on your control zone. Focusing on your control zone is the first thing you should do to become mentally tough through Stoicism. This means putting your attention on the things you can change and letting go of the things you can't. Stoic thought is based on the idea of control, which is also a key part of becoming mentally tough. Epictetus said, "The things we control are our own thoughts, actions we pursue, desires we have, and dislikes we have. Things we can't change are our bodies, our property, our reputation, our orders, and anything else that isn't our own acts." In other words, we can change our thoughts, feelings, and actions, but not the things that happen around us or the way other people act. Focusing on the things we can change gives us power because it lets us act and make our lives better. It makes us feel like we have control and duty, which are important for mental toughness. Focusing on what we can change makes us less likely to feel useless or like we're being harmed by outside events. Focusing on things we can't change, on the other hand, makes us angry, stressed, and frustrated. It can make us feel useless and powerless, which can weaken our minds. To become mentally tough, we need to learn to tell the difference between the things we can and cannot control. Mindfulness is one way to help you focus on your power zone. Mindfulness means being in the present moment and not judging your feelings and thoughts as you notice them. It makes you aware of the things you can manage and the things you can't. Being more self-aware is an important part of being mentally tough, and practicing mindfulness can help you get there. Setting attainable goals is another way to keep your attention on your control zone. By setting goals that you can actually reach, you can take action and get closer to your goals. Giving yourself a reason to live and a sense of direction are important for mental toughness. Goals that you can't control, on the other hand, can make you feel frustrated and let down. Getting rid of the things you can't change is also important. That is, you have to learn to be okay with the fact that some things in life are out of your control. Recognizing the truth of the situation and focused on what you can do is what it means. It does not mean giving up or being passive. Sometimes it's hard to let go of things you can't change, but it's necessary for mental toughness. Putting your energy and resources into things you can manage helps you save them for other things. In addition, it helps you develop inner peace and strength, which are important for getting through hard times. A key part of building mental toughness is focused on your control zone. Focusing on the things you can change and letting go of the things you can't change are part of it. You can build a sense of agency, duty, and inner peace, all of which are necessary for mental toughness, by practicing mindfulness, setting realistic goals, and accepting the things you can't change. Focus on your control zone the next time you're going through a tough time, and do something about the things you can control. Lesson 2. Ditch harmful coping mechanisms. It's only normal to look for comfort and relief from pain and discomfort when things are going badly. Some ways of dealing with stress can be bad for our physical and mental health. Stoicism tells us to stay away from unhealthy ways of dealing and instead focus on healthy ones. Abusing drugs is a common unhealthy way to deal with stress. Many people use drugs or booze to dull their pain and run away from the real world. Abusing drugs only helps for a short time and causes more problems in the long run. Seneca said, "Wine is a peephole on a man, a keyhole through which one may see his true character." Abusing drugs hurts our bodies, but it also hurts our relationships, jobs, and quality of life in general. Overeating is another bad way to deal with stress. A lot of people find comfort in food, especially when they're nervous or stressed. It's bad for your health, your weight, and your self-esteem to eat too much. Stoicism tells us to be self-controlled and moderate in everything we do, even when we're eating. We should hang out with people who support our health and encourage us to eat well. As Epictetus said, The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Another bad way to deal with stress is to do too much shopping. Retail therapy is something that a lot of people do to deal with bad feelings like sadness, boredom, or loneliness. Shopping too much can put you in debt, cause money problems, and make your home messy. Stoicism tells us to let go of material wants and focus on what really counts in life. Every night we should call ourselves to account. What weakness have I mastered today? Said Seneca. What feelings were at odds? What temptation did you resist? What virtue did you get? We shouldn't shop to feel better. Instead, we should work on building virtues like self-control, gratitude, and contentment. Stoicism teaches us to be aware of ourselves and be mindful. We need to pay attention to our feelings, thoughts, and actions, and figure out what makes us use unhealthy ways of living. Once we know what sets off these feelings, we can switch from unhealthy ways of living to healthy ones. Exercise is a good way to deal with stress. Working out not only makes us healthier, but it also makes us happier and less stressed. As Marcus Aurelius said, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Exercise should be a top priority for us and a normal part of our lives. Practicing thanks is another healthy way to deal with stress. Practicing gratitude helps us see the good things in our lives and makes us feel satisfied. Epictetus says, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Every day, we should show thanks by thinking about what we're thankful for. Giving up unhealthy ways of living is a key part of becoming mentally tough during tough times. Stoicism teaches us to stay away from bad ways of coping, like using drugs, eating too much, spending too much, and so on. We should focus on good ways to deal with stress, like exercise, being thankful, and taking care of ourselves. By becoming more thoughtful and self-aware, we can figure out what makes us use unhealthy ways of coping and replace them with healthier ones. Lesson 3. Embrace challenges. Accepting difficulties is a key part of becoming mentally tough. According to Stoicism, problems should be seen as chances to grow and get better. We should not run away from problems. Instead, we should learn to face them head-on. We will talk about how to deal with problems and make your mind stronger. It's better to accept things the way they are than to try to change them. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." When we accept truth, we can focus on the here and now and take steps to get through tough times. It makes us mentally tough by letting us see problems as chances to learn and get better. We need to learn to accept truth and stay in the present moment if we want to take on challenges. The next step is to act after we have accepted truth. Stoicism tells us to deal with problems by doing something instead of whining or feeling bad about ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "The thing that stops action moves action forward. What gets in the way turns into the way." We can feel like we have power and control over our lives when we do things. It makes us mentally tough by letting us see problems as chances to learn and get better. So, if we want to accept difficulties, we need to learn how to deal with them. As was already said, having a growth attitude is a key part of becoming mentally tough. When we have a growth attitude, we can see problems as chances to learn and get better. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body, said Seneca. Having a growth attitude helps us see our mistakes as steps on the way to success. It makes us mentally tough by letting us get back up after a loss and keep going even when things get hard. To take on challenges, we need to develop a growth attitude, which means seeing mistakes as chances to learn and get better. Practicing gratitude is an important part of being ready for difficulties. Focusing on the good things in our lives instead of focusing on the bad is what Stoicism teaches us. Epictetus says, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Through practicing thanks, we can learn to value the difficulties we face. It makes us mentally tough by letting us see problems as chances to learn and get better. We need to learn to be thankful and concentrate on the good things in our lives. Accepting difficulties is a key part of becoming mentally tough. According to Stoicism, problems should be seen as chances to grow and get better. We can accept reality, take action, develop a growth attitude, and show gratitude, which will help us face challenges and get stronger mentally. So, the next time you face a problem, remember what Stoicism taught you and see it as a chance to learn and get better. Lesson 4. Develop a growth mindset. Carol Dweck, a psychologist, came up with the idea of a growth mindset, which fits nicely with the Stoic way of thinking. A growth mindset is the idea that you can get smarter and better at things if you work hard and dedicate yourself. If you think that your skills and intelligence are fixed and can't change, you have a fixed attitude. We need to create a growth mindset in order to make our minds stronger. This means seeing problems as chances to learn and grow instead of as threats to our ego or sense of self-worth. Understanding that failure is a normal part of learning and not a sign of how good or bad we are is also important. Stoicism tells us to focus on making progress instead of getting things just right. The important thing is not what happens to you, but how you handle it, as Epictetus said. This means we shouldn't dwell on mistakes or failures. Instead, we should think about what we can learn from them and how we can get better next time. Changing the way we think about failure is one way to develop a growth attitude. Instead of seeing loss as a bad thing, we can see it as a chance to get better and learn. You can ask yourself things like, what can I learn from this? Or, what can I do better next time? This way of thinking helps us see loss as a way to get better, not as something that gets in the way. Take on new challenges and leave your comfort zone. This is another way to create a growth mindset. When we push ourselves, we have to learn and get better. This might be painful, but it's necessary to build mental toughness. This is what Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. To develop a growth mindset, we can also make goals that are attainable and enjoy our success as we reach them. We shouldn't just think about the end result, we should also think about how we can learn and get better. This means making short-term goals that we can reach so that we can gain confidence and speed over time. It's important to spend time with people who will help and support our growth. This means looking for friends, teachers, or mentors who share our values and can help us and give us feedback. It also means staying away from negative or critical people, since they can make us doubt ourselves and slow us down. To become mentally tough, you need to create a growth mindset. We can create a growth mindset and the mental toughness we need to get through hard times by accepting challenges, changing how we think about failure, setting attainable goals, and surrounding ourselves with supportive individuals. Epictetus told us, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Lesson 5. Practice self-care. The idea of self-care goes beyond just taking care of our bodies. It also includes taking care of our minds and hearts. As part of it, we do things that help us relax, lower our stress, and make our lives better in general. Self-care is important for our mental and emotional health, and Stoicism tells us to put it first. Mindfulness meditation is one way to take care of yourself. Focusing on the present moment without judging it is what mindfulness is all about. It helps us find inner peace and calm, which is important for staying strong mentally when things get tough. For Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Through mindfulness, we can improve the quality of our thinking and develop a good attitude. Working out is another way to take care of yourself. Regular exercise has been shown to lower stress, boost happiness, and make it easier to think and remember things. And Seneca said, it is not the body that needs rest, but the mind. Working out not only keeps our bodies healthy, but it also makes us feel better mentally and emotionally. To build mental toughness, we need to make exercise a priority and a regular part of our self-care habit. Doing creative things like drawing, writing, or playing music can also be a form of self-care. Being creative gives us a way to express ourselves and get in touch with our true selves. As Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Doing artistic things helps us connect with our inner selves and find meaning and purpose in our lives. Setting limits and putting our needs first are also parts of self-care. It means saying no to things or people that make us feel bad about our mental and emotional health and drain our energy. The soul is colored by the color of its thoughts, said Marcus Aurelius. We can maintain our mental and emotional health and keep a good attitude by setting limits and putting our needs first. Self-care means getting help from a professional when you need it. It means being aware of when we need help and getting in touch with a doctor or counselor. Every night we should call ourselves to account. What weakness have I mastered today? Said Seneca. What feelings were at odds? What temptation did you resist? What virtue did you get? Getting help from a professional is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of power. It shows that we want to keep our mental and emotional health in good shape and become more mentally tough. Taking care of yourself is an important part of building mental toughness for tough times. As part of it, we do things that help us relax, lower our stress, and make our lives better in general. Self-care is important for keeping our mental and emotional health in good shape, building resiliency, and getting through hard times with grace and strength. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, and remember that it's not selfish to do so. It's important for your mental and emotional health. Lesson 6. Build strong relationships. People need to be around other people, and our ties with them affect our mental and emotional health. Stoicism teaches us to build a sense of community and understands how important it is to have good ties with other people. Seneca said, "One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood." In more than one way, building good relationships can help us become mentally tough. It gives us a network of people we can count on when things get tough. Having someone to talk to and share our feelings and thoughts with can make a big difference when we are going through hard times. It can help us deal with our feelings and see things from a different angle. Having good relationships can help us become more empathetic and caring. Connecting with others helps us see things from their point of view, which can help us understand them better and care more about them. Do not waste any more time arguing about what a good man should be, said Marcus Aurelius. Be one. We can build mental toughness by becoming more resilient and able to change by practicing empathy and compassion. Having strong relationships can help us figure out what our life is all about. We can feel like we belong and have a reason when we connect with other people. Having a reason for living can help us stay inspired and on track when things get tough, which can help us become mentally tough. Be fully present when you're with someone. Pay attention and don't let your phone or other gadgets distract you. You show someone you value their time and presence by being there. Think about things from the other person's point of view. Finding out what they think, feel, and want can help you understand them better. You can make better connections with other people if you practice empathy. Stay true to yourself and what you believe in. Being real can help you meet people who share your interests and make real bonds. If someone you know is having a hard time, offer your support. Being there for them can mean as little as listening or lending a hand. You can make your friendship with the other person stronger by helping them. Getting angry can hurt your relationships and your mental health. Forgive others by letting go of hurts from the past and focusing on the here and now. To become mentally tough, you need to build strong bonds. Connecting with others can help us build a support system, learn to understand and care about others, and give our lives purpose and meaning. So work on making strong connections with other people, and you'll see your mental toughness improve. Epictetus told us, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best.